By the previous video, among other contemporary conflicting issues, we have covered up to Article 60, which is relating to the oath of office of President of India. Today, we shall discuss the procedure relating to impeachment of a president. A president can be impeached only if he violated the constitution. As long as he does not violate the constitution, impeachment of President of India is not valid. That is the strength of the President and the relation between President and the Constitution. A resolution for impeachment of a President has to be moved by at least 25% of either House of Parliament with 14 days notice. That resolution has to be moved by 25% of the membership of the House, and it has to be passed by 2/3 majority of that House. After that, the same resolution will also be introduced in the other House of the Parliament, where it also has to be passed with 2/3 majority. That means, please understand, it is very difficult to impeach a president. Unless he violated the constitution, he cannot be impeached. Even if he violated the constitution, it requires 2/3 majority in both houses of the parliament to impeach him separately. While his impeachment motion was being discussed in the House, in the second House, of course, the President of India is entitled to appear, to be present in the House and offer his responses. As he can explain his own reasons for his actions or against his allegations. If the resolution is passed by 2/3 majority in both houses of the parliament separately, that has the effect of removing the President of India from his office. Naturally, as long as the President does not violate the constitution, nobody can impeach him. But unfortunately, the President of India, instead of being bold and proactive, has confined himself to the Rashtrapati Bhavan and following the instructions called advice of his own subordinates. I have already discussed this topic in one of my previous videos, that we obtained independence in 1947. At that time, there was no constitution. As a result, Jawaharlal Nehru was sworn in as Prime Minister of India by Lord Mountbatten according to British conventions. He was ruling the country efficiently and with high esteem. The constitution came into existence in 1950. When we opened the constitution, it suggested a presidential form of democracy for India, but not a parliamentary democracy like England. England is parliamentary democracy because people elect the members of the parliament and they elect the prime minister in turn and he rules the country. The king is only a hereditary king or queen. They do not have an elected president. They have an elected prime minister. In fact, they do not have a written constitution. They follow the parliamentary conventions, which is called the Westminster style of governance. Whereas in America, there is an elected president. His oath of office, his duties, discretions, his removal, we have copied from American Constitution. But unfortunately, we are not following it. In India too, there is an elected president and nominated or appointed Prime Minister. Indian Prime Minister is not an elected man. He can be a nominated person. For example, we can see Rajiv Gandhi has become Prime Minister straight from being a pilot. Even Indira Gandhi was a nominated Rajya Sabha member when she became Prime Minister for the first time in 1964. So also I.K. Gujral, Manmohan Singh, Chandrasekhar, etc. All these people were nominated Rajya Sabha members. Even the chief ministers in India, like Nitish Kumar, Yogi Adityanath, in the previous term Mamata Banerjee, all these were nominated MLCs. That way, India has an elected president and appointed prime minister. As such, it is a presidential democracy. Then, president election was to be conducted in 1950. Had Jawaharlal Nehru or Dr. B.R. Ambedkar or Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel or anybody for that matter could have contested as President of India, win the election and rule the country, so that so far the Indian administration could have been democratic and constitutional. But the catastrophe was that if they wanted to contest to the post of President of India, first they have to resign to their ministership. There was a temporary cabinet from 1947 to 1952 because the first general elections took place in 1952. To avoid this catastrophe, Congress has put forth Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad as a consensus candidate and he won the election. With that gratitude, he confined himself to the Rashtrapati Bhavan and remained a fan and follower of the Prime Minister of India. He signed and stamped whatever papers sent to him and acquired the title President of India is a rubber stamp. The same obedience made him President of India for 3 terms. Of course, it was only in 1976 that 42nd Amendment was brought to the effect that President of India was bound by the advice of Council of Ministers. Please remember, it was not there earlier. Even if such a condition is there, please remember this amendment was signed and stamped by the same President of India. It appears even if his resignation papers are sent to him or any bill reducing his powers, etc., even such bills also, unfortunately, the executive are signing, namely the President and the governors. What I am about to say is that, in fact, the President of India need not fear anybody. Just now we discussed that as long as he did not violate the Constitution, he cannot be impeached. Entire Constitution is about his powers, duties and discretions. As such, he should have boldly taken up the administration of the country and ruled this country. He is the executive power of the Union under Article 53, Clause 1, and he is the Supreme Commander of Armed Forces under Article 53, Clause 2, and his executive power extends to the whole country, including states and union territories, in matters in which the Union can make law. He takes oath to preserve, protect and defend the Constitution of India and the law, and to devote himself for the service and well-being of the people of India. Having taken such a lofty oath, having been provided with the sword and the shield to safeguard the country and the Constitution, it is the misfortune of the people of India that he has confined himself to the Rashtrapati Bhavan. I am bringing these facts to the notice of the listeners with fond hope that the message will spread and it brings social, political and economic changes in India for the good of the country. Thank you for watching my video. I request you to please subscribe, share and comment my videos. I'll be glad to reply to you. Thank you.